Good afternoon and welcome to NTV News. I'm Siksha Sharma. Let's take a look into the headlines first. Much part of the country inundated and floods in Kathmandu Valley. Major rivers flooded, 1 killed and 5 go missing in a landslide at Sigri of Makwanpur. Speaker Gimire's effort to find consensus among top leaders to smoothen parliament proceedings failed. House meeting called for 3 p.m. today. The U.S. envoy holds face-to-face talks with Niger's military leaders following last month's coup. Washington insists on reinstating president. And Colombia faces Jamaica in today's first match of Women's World Cup last 16 tie. Underdogs Morocco eyeing a shock win over France. Welcome back to NTV News. We take a look into news in detail now. 1 person has died and 6 others, including 3 children, have gone missing when a house was buried in landslide at Sigri of Makwanpur district. District Police Office informed that a house was buried in the landslide. According to spokesperson at the police office, Tek Bahadur Karki, police have reached the accident site and rescue efforts are going on. Rain also caused 2 small highways connecting Hetauda with Kathmandu to be blocked in Makwanpur. The Kanti Highway and Madan Bhandari Road have been blocked. The incessant rainfall occurred since last night has caused inundation in different parts of the Kathmandu Valley. The district police premises Kathmandu has said Ntvithari, Gaurighat, Goeshwari, Kapan, Samakoshi and Anamnagar among others have been inundated with downpour. The inundations have badly affected the public life. Waterlogged roads and schools have caused sheer inconvenience to the people. Police further said the downpour occurred at Bunaninkanta, Sundarijal and Nagarkot areas, flooded the rivers and streams in the Kathmandu Valley. The Weather Forecasting Division has already issued alert to people to stay safe in places near the Bishnumati, Dhobikhola, Bagmati, Manohara rivers, citing that there would be high water level in the rivers. This comes as the country is under the influence of monsoon wind and the low pressure area located in around the Bihar state of India. According to the Meteorological Forecasting Division, the axis of monsoon through is towards the northern Nepal and then its average position. Today there are chances of moderate to heavy rainfall at a few places of Koshi, Bagmati and Gandhaki. The meteorological agency has urged one and all to take safety measures against the potential consequences. Towards other update, where a meeting of the House of Representatives has been rescheduled for 3 p.m. today. The meeting could not be held on Monday as the top leaders of the major political parties failed to forge a consensus on ending the obstruction. Talks among top leaders brokered by Speaker of the House of Representatives Devraj Gimire over resuming House proceedings ended inconclusive. 2 rounds of talks were held on Monday itself, first at Singadarbar and the second at the Parliament building later in the day in order to find a common ground over the resumption. The rigidity shown by ruling and opposition parties is marking consensus of far cry. CP and UML has been obstructing both the houses of federal parliament, demanding formation of high-level parliamentary probe into the gold smuggling case. The CP and UML, raising skepticism over the government's probe, has been demanding for a high-level probe committee. After 20 days of the gold seizure, the Department of Revenue has handed over the case to the Central Investigation Bureau of Nepal Police. CPNML Center Deputy General Secretary Barshaman Pun rules out the need of a high-level committee, saying government mechanisms are holding an effective investigation. Chief Whip of Nepali Congress Ramesh Lekak holds the belief that the ongoing series of talks between parties will lead to a consensus soon. And we take a look into a short break here. We'll come back to you with other updates. So stay with us. Welcome back to NTV News. Towards other updates, the Central Investigation Bureau of Nepal Police has appointed Superintendent of Police SP Sanjay Singh Thapa as the investigation officer in the 100 kilograms gold smuggling case. The investigation was initiated after understanding the facts and evidence of the documents received from the Revenue Investigation Department. The accused 17 people were transferred to CIB custody. Deputy Inspector General of Police Kubir Kadayat informed that SP Thapa will study the report, adjust the district court deadline and start further investigation. The Revenue Investigation Department seized approximately 100 kilos of gold after the consignment had crossed the customs office of Tribhuvan International Airport on July the 19th. The gold is now kept at the Taksar branch of Nepal Rashtra Bank to determine its quantity. 18 people have been arrested for the involvement in the incident, with 17 still in custody. The Kathmandu District Court has allowed those arrested to be detained for an additional 7 days. Taking you to other updates, where since the outbreak of the lumpy skin disease, a total of 5,748 cattle have died in the Lumbini province. However, the veterinary officials have shared the infection rate has decreased in the recent days thanks to massive public awareness campaign and vaccination drive. The Livestock and Fishery Development Directorate of Lumbini province shared that so far 180,978 cattle have been infected from the lumpy skin disease in the districts of the province, with the highest number of infection in Baque. Baque recorded 40,801 cases of lumpy skin disease, while Navalparasi has the lowest number of cases with 497. The Timbung Pond in Patsthar district is seeing the surge of tourists of late. It is believed one's wishes are fulfilled and diseases get cured after visiting the pond that carries religious significance as well. Tourists are found to be visiting Timbung Pokhari, which emerged as one of the major trekking destinations of eastern Nepal, as number of mountain ranges can be spotted from there. This place normally draws influx of tourists from May to October. 8 small attractive ponds, including Surya Kund, Doodh Kund, Hans Pond, Mayur Pond, are also licensed in the area. And let's take a look into yet another break. Stay with us for more updates. Welcome back, taking you to international updates, where a senior U.S. official has held face-to-face talks with Niger's military leaders following last month's coup. Acting Deputy Secretary of State Victoria Nuland said the conversations had been extremely frank and at times quite difficult. Washington has said the coup can still be ended diplomatically, and President Mohamed Bazoum reinstated but has suspended aid payments in the meantime. West African countries are set to meet on Thursday to discuss the crisis. ECOWAS, a trading bloc of 15 West African states, had issued Sunday's deadline to Niger's junta leaders to stand down and restore the elected president. At least 5 people have been killed in a Russian missile attack on residential buildings in the eastern Ukrainian town of Pokrovsk. Officials say 4 civilians and an official were killed and 31 people were injured. President Volodymyr Zelensky said there were victims in the attack but did not provide a figure. Rescue efforts were continuing. It lies about 70 kilometers northwest of the next city, which is occupied by Russian forces. Before the war, it had a population of around 60,000 people. Japan has urged caution as severe tropical storm approaches is on track to approach southwestern Japan by Wednesday. It is moving north with winds expected to reach 90 kilometers per hour. The Japan Meteorological Agency says Kanun is moving slowly over waters of the Amami region in Kagoshima Prefecture. Bands of active rain clouds could develop in the region and in southern Kyushu to Tuesday morning. Weather officials are calling on people to be on high alert for landslides, flooding in low-lying areas and overflowing rivers. People living even well away from the storm's path are advised to make early preparations, including checking hazard maps. A quick look into the highlights of what's coming up next. The 8th China Brewers Championship Macau Region Contest was held on August the 7th. The organizers said that professional coffee brewer talents in Macau should be nurtured, especially with the boom of the industry. In recent years, coffee shops have been popping up across the region. There has been especially an interest in hand-drip coffee, which has entered in the mass market. It is hoped that the event will help nurture professional coffee brewers in the region. Pakistan plans to privatize its loss-making national carrier, Pakistan International Airlines, the government said on Monday, as the country also seeks to outsource its airport operations in line with an IMF deal. The privatization decision was taken at a meeting of the Cabinet Committee of Privatization chaired by Finance Minister Ishaq Dar. The privatization of a state-owned enterprise, the PIA, which has accumulated hundreds of billions of rupees in losses and arrears, comes after Pakistan agreed to fiscal discipline plans with the International Monetary Fund. The committee also backed the hiring of a financial advisor to Pakistan, hopes to resume PIA flights to Britain in the next 3 months after services were suspended following a fake pilot scandal. Time now for sports update. Two matches have been slated for today under the round of 16 in the ongoing FIFA Women's World Cup. The first match has been slated at 1:15 p.m. NST between Colombia and Jamaica. The Colombians knocked off South Korea and Germany before a 1-0 loss to Morocco in their final group stage match on Thursday. Jamaica, whereas ended second with 5 points behind France to qualify for the first round of 16 at the World Cup. In the other round of 16 match slated to kick off at 4:15 NST, heavyweights France is taking on underdogs Morocco. The Moroccans' qualification chances were bleak on the heels of a 6-0 rout against Germany in their opener, but back-to-back 1-0 victories helped them squeeze into the knockout rounds in their first World Cup appearance. Earlier on Monday, England entered into the semi-finals of the Women's World Cup with a dramatic penalty shootout victory, while co-host Australia reached the quarter-finals with a clinical win over Denmark. At least 57 people have suffered from diarrhea and vomiting after swimming in the sea during the UK leg of the World Triathlon Championship Series, according to the health officials there. About 2,000 people took part in the events in Sunderland, Northern England, last weekend, which included swimming off the city's Roker Beach. The UK Health Security Agency said this weekend it was investigating the possible cause of the outbreak, and it will be asking those affected to complete a questionnaire and provide a sample for testing. Routine tests carried out by the Environment Agency at Roker in late July, days before the competition, found that high levels of E. coli bacteria in the water there. This brings us to the end of the bulletin. To wrap up, a quick reminder of the top stories. Parts of Kathmandu Valley inundated after major rivers flooded. 1 killed and 5 go missing in a landslide at Sigri of Makwanpur. Speaker Gimira's effort to find consensus among top leaders to smoothen parliament proceedings fails. House meeting called for 3 p.m. today. U.S. envoy holds face-to-face talks with Niger's military leaders following last month's coup. Washington insists on instating President Bazoum. And Colombia faces Jamaica in today's first match of Women's World Cup last 16 tie. Underdogs Morocco eyeing a shock win over France. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead. Namaste.